So it's been a week since I uploaded my last video, which was the VVR Victory Racing Round 1 rerun, and you probably won't think that was a long time ago, but it actually was. The race had taken place a month before I uploaded the video, and so after that, well, after you complaining that I'm such an absolute ass at uploading videos on time, which I admit I am, and yeah, I'm just let's skip that topic for now. And you might be wondering, what have I done this month? And the answer is that I participated in 2 races after that race. One was in the SRS Cup, which was on the August 11th, and I thought I wouldn't participate because I was outside my city. However, I managed to get to my home on time, and that round was on Canada. I practiced before the race and I set promising times, like a 109 or something like that. Unfortunately, in qualifying, I invalidated my first 2 laps, and third lap, although it was validated, I got pressurized, so pressurized that I set a pretty bad lap time and went to like P14. I started on hards and I was slowly getting up the positions. Unfortunately, it was lap 13 and the safety car got deployed, full course safety car, and I think I had this after tire location, so that meant that I only have 1 million tires available, and it was 20 laps to go, more than half of the race to go, and had no other option than to go for mediums because I already was on hards, and if I was maintaining with that and staying out, I would have risked for, well, it being the only safety car and losing lots of time, but also having to box for mediums. That'll mean that I'll be struggling a lot with tire wear, but well, I decided to go for mediums. And although I was still going pretty well, but the thing about the tire wear, I got a 3-second time penalty, and then on lap 27 I broke apart. I spun and dropped down to P10, and although 3 laps later another safety car got deployed, which was the third, the second one being right after the first safety car. Although it was a little bit irrelevant, I stayed out there. On the third one I was gonna box for softs. Unfortunately, I forgot that the delta time existed, and while I was heading into the pit lane, I was faster than the delta and didn't notice it until it was too late. Yeah, I got a drive-through penalty and I felt pretty heartbroken, and because it was like 3 laps to go when I could serve my drive-through penalty, yeah, my race was already ruined and I had no chance to score points. And although finishing P12 and did serve my drive-through penalty, it did not consider it as deserved, and I got a 20-second time penalty after the race. So honestly, I could have just skipped the drive-through penalty and give me a 20-second time penalty. Like, I was afraid that I would get disqualified from it. Anyways, it was such a heartbroken race, and I wanted to cry, but I couldn't. So, moving on to the next race, which I was planning it to be the VVR Victory Racing Round number 5 in Silverstone. Unfortunately, I overslept so much that I actually missed the race. Like, yeah, I have my sleep schedule pretty destroyed, and unfortunately that was the final chance I could show at the VVR Victory Racing until December, because it was on Wednesday midday and that was my last week of my summer break. So yeah, after that I'll go back to school and well, having my classes, and unfortunately I will have these classes during this race. And so on Friday I was going to participate in the Badlocks Cooking Championship, my league debut, and it was on the Formula 4, although I was also signed up for the Formula 1 category, although this was at the very same time as the VVR Victory Races, so I couldn't participate because I had to choose over that one. And well, I didn't practice anything, and it was in Mexico, so that wasn't a circuit that I have raced in this game. So yeah, my chances of having a decent race was near zero, pretty much zero in reality. And also I did have a quali ban. Miraculously, I didn't qualify in last because a French driver also had a quali ban and qualifying P13 in last. So yeah, we were so few drivers, and I started the race on mediums, and guess how much my stint lasted with mediums? 8 laps. Yeah, 8 laps out of 36, and that was less than 25% of the race with mediums, and they were already at like 50% tire wear. Also, I was having lots of oversteer and spun lots of times, and at the end of lap 8 I had to box for hards, and I was running like in P12, then overtook a Skydriver who was also pretty slow. I got up in P11, but looked like that was it. I was in stone dead last, excluding the Skydriver, and laps passed and my hearts were reaching near 60% despite having a virtual safety car on lap 13, which, well, it didn't help me not that much because that was a virtual safety car and it was the race slowing down, and nothing really happened that much. I was just trying to survive and just finishing a mediocre P11. However, there was a miracle, and that miracle was a full course safety car. I wasn't expecting it, and because it was on final laps, I boxed for softs. And although yeah, I was a bit slow, fortunately the penalties from the other drivers were helping me a little bit, and managed to get up into P7 as my race result. So I managed to score decent points, and the next race that I was participating was on Sunday, but I say 2, and it's because it was on the Kraken, and although it was going terrible for me, the race got bugged and we were moving to another lobby while I was waiting for the lobby to be opened. First of all, the race starting pretty late, like it was originally starting at like 8, but it started like at 8:20, 8:30, so yeah, it was pretty late. And when it got restarted, it was like already 9, and for them that they're in Mexico City, that will be 10 o'clock, 10 at night, and it was on Sunday, so most of them will have gotten to work the next day pretty early. So the result was that it did not get restarted, hence not showing the footage of it because I didn't mind of saving the stream, and the race got cancelled. And so that was 2 races, and not 3 because that race got cancelled, and after that I went back to school. I felt pretty busy. I couldn't have much time uploading videos and practicing for races until like right now in these days, which is ironic because the next week I'm having exams, but it's just like a first term exam. But well, that's what happened in the past 3 weeks. Ultimately, I did participate in another race, but I'll cover this in another video. So, see you there. And if you're wondering what happened to my team in these races that I took in the SRX race, SRS in Canada, our team went pretty badly as most of the SGC team drivers outscored us, and we consider it as a loss. And on the Wednesday of Baja victory, well, none of them presented from my team, and it looks like we got expelled from it. And the race on Friday, I was the only driver, and now we aren't in the championship anymore. This is confirmed. And on the Sunday of the Kraken, we were leading and we had to defend the lead. In order to win the championship, we will need like certain points, but because it got cancelled, we automatically won the title, the constructors title. So, goodbye.